Hi, I'm Julie Backman with Yas Team Real Estate in Cottage Grove, Oregon, and we're ready to house hunt. Hi, now that you have your pre-approval letter in your hot little hand, what is the next step? Besides getting a hold of me, your realtor, we are going to go over some things. I need to know your loan type. I need to know your budget. I need to know where would you like to live. I also like to go over a list of wants and needs. You might want a pool, but do you need a pool? You probably want a walk-in closet, but is that gonna be a deal breaker if you don't get it? These are all things we go over so I don't waste your time or my time looking for houses that I know that you don't even want. Next, we're gonna look at houses. I start online. Most people start online. Even you, the buyer, can look online. Nowadays, there's Zillow, there's Trulia, there's Redfin, there's all sorts of things that you can look on. I get to look at a little more special of an area. It is called the MLS, the Multiple Listing System. So I have access to properties all over the state of Oregon, and on those listings, it tells me what kind of loans are accepted. So if you have a USDA loan, that will tell me right there, this buyer does not accept USDA loans, or they do. Obviously, if they don't, I will not even bother with that property. Obviously the price, it's gonna tell me the price, and it tells me all the specs of the house. And on Zillow and Trulia and all these other places you're looking at, it's gonna have a lot of that stuff too, but only I have access to the private comments. Sometimes realtors put things in there such as property might be dividable, so do your due diligence, things like that. So that's the stuff that we're gonna get started on. When we first start looking for houses, I like to actually get together with my client, sit down at the computer, and go over some properties that are available at the time and sort of give them an idea of what's out there. That doesn't mean we're gonna find something that very second. Usually people will go home, they look online, I will look online, and I'll email them to you. I will call you, I will text you, I'll say, hey, I found this house, I really think it fits all your needs, would you like to go see it? And then you can look at the house and you can say yay or nay. And if it's a yes, then I look on my listing and it will tell me what are the rules for showing the house. Some people need 24 hours notice if it's occupied. Some people have little notes on there saying there are pets. Please watch out for our dog. Don't let our cat out. We need only 2 hours notice, or no appointment needed, just show it. Some are vacant, some have people living in them, and we always have to be respectful of the rules, especially with COVID right now. Most people, they require us to hand sanitize and wear masks, and sometimes I have to wipe stuff down if we touched any of the doorknobs or cupboards or anything like that, which I encourage you to open cupboards, open doors, look in there. We just need to be a little careful right now in the times we're in. So I will set up the appointment. I will meet you there. We will go look at the house. Everything looks great and you find something wrong, or you're just like, this isn't the right house, Julie. I'm so sorry. Don't apologize. It's okay. We could look at 2 houses. We might look at 22 houses. We might look at more. I've had clients that I've actually put in 9 offers for on different houses, 9 different offers. And we didn't get them until the 9th offer. It's a process. I don't want people to get frustrated. Some people are lucky and it's the first house they find. It doesn't happen very often. Usually it takes a few weekends of looking at houses. And I don't always just take you to look at houses on weekends. I try to work around your schedule and of course the seller's schedule. Some people only have showings in the evenings. Some people only have showings during the day where they're at work. They don't want to be home, so they're like, just let everybody look at my house while I'm not here. So we have to work on everybody's schedule. After we do that and we are looking at all these homes, we find this beautiful house, you want it, and you say, hey, this is the one I want, let's make the offer. So what do we do next? The next step is filling out the offer. Obviously, I do that, that's my job, but I will go over it with you step by step by step. It is 11 pages. Sometimes there's other things in there for wells and septic and all sorts of things. And it's a lot and it's overwhelming. And if you've never bought a house before, it's a lot to understand. So I sit down with you and we go over step by step by step. I explain everything to you, whether we want an inspection, whether we don't want an inspection. You always want an inspection, just throwing that out there. There's just all these things. It can be frustrating, it can be confusing. So I sit down with you and we go over that. A lot of times we do DocuSign. DocuSign, for people who don't know that, is where you sign electronically through your email. I don't like to do this at the very first time, the very first offer, or if you've never bought a house before. I feel it's something I need to sit down and explain to you in person. After that, if you're a pro at it, you've done it before, this is not your first time, or after we've gone back and forth a few times, offering, counter offering, whatever we need to do, DocuSign is perfect. DocuSign is great. You can do it on the go, you can do it on your phone, sign whatever you have to sign. But the first original contract, I really like to go over it with you in person and help you understand. And if you want me to do it for you that way every time, I will. I have clients who don't have the internet and who don't use email, and I drive to their house every single time. I go over it with them, they sign, I take it back. And that's just who I am, whatever it takes, and I'll walk you through every step. The next thing we do requires more work on my part, actually. I get a hold of your lender and let them know, hey, we've got an accepted offer. This is what it is. I email the offer to her. I email the offer to the lender, and I set up Escrow. Escrow is a neutral company such as First American Title Company or Cascade Title Company. They hold all the funds. I do not hold any of the money. So anything that you have as earnest money is just a good faith offering saying, hey, I have money, I am serious, this is what I want to do. I want to purchase your house. And that is usually 1% to 3% of the purchase price. But I also have clients who have said, hey, we're just going to give them $1,000 or $2,000, and that's perfectly acceptable. It doesn't have to be an exact percentage. That money has to be delivered within 3 business days. So I take that money, you give it to me within 3 business days, and I deliver it to the title company. You could even drop it off yourself. I have clients who have lived blocks from the title company and they say, hey, we'll just run it over, and everybody gets the receipt. All the agents on both sides get receipts. Everybody knows what's going on, that money has been deposited. Escrow holds all the money. The real estate agent has nothing to do with your money. I don't want anybody thinking, oh, I just have this fatty check sitting in my office, it's not secure. Not true. Escrow holds everything. It's secure. They deal with all their titles and your insurance and all of that stuff. And we'll have another video on that explaining a little bit more about what title does, about your earnest money, about your escrow, all of that kinds of stuff. So we have that all set up. Then I will be setting up and scheduling your inspections. Because like I said, I always recommend an inspection. Even brand new houses, brand new construction, probably not so much because they will have just had recent inspections. But even a house that is pretty new and you think, oh, there's nothing wrong with it, it's only, people have lived in it for a year or two, always get an inspection. Even if it's just for your peace of mind, nothing could be wrong with the property. It could be perfect. Or it could have faulty wiring somewhere or anything like that. You want to know before you buy your house. I will meet the inspector at the house for your inspection, and you can come too. I strongly encourage you to come to your own inspection, but usually we don't deal with him until the very end, and then they go over the whole entire report and let you know what's going on. Sometimes my clients are at work during the day and they can't make it. Not a big deal. I go to every single one, and the inspector goes over everything with me. You get a report, it comes in a nice binder, and then you and I can meet later and go over the whole entire thing. So what happens when your inspection report comes back and something is wrong? Say there's a leak under the kitchen sink that needs to be fixed. What do we do then? Well, I will ask the selling agent, I will say, hey, these are the things we want repaired. Blah, 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 blah. And then she asks her clients and they say, okay, we will repair those, yes. Or they will say, we'll repair these 2 things, but not this item. Then they will send it back to us, and we will say, hey, we can live with that. Just fix those 2 items and we're good to go. Or we can say, as the buyer, saying, no, I want all of those fixed. That is what we need to buy this house. It is your prerogative. We can go back and forth. Sometimes it goes very smoothly. Sometimes nothing needs to be fixed. So just keep this in mind. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You just never know, but always get an inspection. In the meantime, while all these things are going on, while inspections are going on, your lender will be getting a hold of you and you will be having to provide certain things to them, whatever they need, and your lender will be in contact with me. I have a really good working relationship with every lender I've ever used. They communicate with me. I get weekly emails to let me know where you are in the steps of your loan. How close are we to closing? Are we going to close early? Are we going to close a little late? Are they waiting for something from you? It is your job to make sure everything the lender needs gets taken care of. I'm in the loop, so I know what's happening. And sometimes I've had to go to clients and say, hey, I just got an email from the lender. Did you get this taken care of? And I'm like, oh, I totally forgot, or I hadn't done it yet. Yes, I'm on that. Anything you can do to make this process smoothly is what we need to do. In the meantime, while all of this is going on with your inspections, with you working with your lender, and we're just going through the process, it's a lot of waiting, and sometimes people can be frustrated with that, but it is a process. Everything takes a little bit of time. So your lender is going to order an appraisal for the home. An appraisal is a value of how much the home is worth. And if you're purchasing that home for $300,000, you want your appraisal to come back for $300,000 because the bank will not finance it if it comes back less. So it's always a little bit stressful. Sometimes you just know, yes, this house is gonna come back. No big deal. Sometimes you're on the cusp, you never know. It's very nerve-wracking for everybody involved, but I promise we will get through it. After the appraisal comes back, the good appraisal comes back, your lender will let us know that, hey, it came back, we're all good, financing is good, we just have a little bit to go till the end. I'll have another video later explaining more about appraisals and your mortgage and your lender and all the stuff that they have to do for your house. That will be a little bit later, but right now we're getting to the end. We are getting to the exciting part, and this is one of my number one rules when you're buying a house. Do not buy anything. Do not buy a car. Do not buy furniture. Do not buy appliances. All of your finances are being picked apart by underwriters and your lender, and they want to know you have money. They want to know where your money is coming from. Do not spend any money. As exciting as it is to go get new furniture for your new house, and oh, well, we need new appliances. We need to go get new appliances. Do not spend money until after you have closed on your house. Number one rule, don't spend any money. We are getting so close to the end. We're gonna close in a few days, and you're going to be getting calls from the title company asking you when is a good time for you to sign papers, what time of the day works best for you. They're gonna get an appointment for you. They are also going to be sending out a CD, your closing disclosures. 3 days before we close, they need to have your closing disclosures out. This is a government mandate that every buyer and seller has a closing disclosure. It explains to you what are your costs, everything about your mortgage, any of your fees, everything is broke down for you, and you have to see that and you have to know what's happening. So when you get that piece of paper or that email, you know, oh, we are so close to the end. It's so exciting. We're getting so close to the end. We have your appointment. We're going to go to closing. I will go with you because I'm with you every step of the way. We go to the title company, and the title company will be having you sign your mortgage papers. It's amazing. We've made it this far, and the stack of papers to sign is it's huge. Your hand will be cramping by the time you're done. I tell everybody, don't worry about it. Your signature in the beginning does not look as the same as a signature in the end. And after we get the clear to close, that means everything has gone through, the title has been cleared, you are homeowners, you will get the key. It usually takes a day or two to get the keys. Sometimes it's right away, sometimes it does take a couple days. But as soon as that happens, I will call you up, say how exciting, we have your keys, and I will meet you at your new home and hand you your keys. And I usually provide a little gift too, a little housewarming gift. It's super exciting. I love closing day. I love it, love it, love it. I've had clients hug me crying because they're so grateful. I have gone out to dinner with clients and gone out to drinks to celebrate. It is the best time ever. I love it, and I can't wait to be your realtor and walk you through all these steps too.